An Australian woman is facing life in prison for the so-called mushroom murders. A court found Erin Patterson guilty of murdering 3 family members and attempting to kill a 4th by serving beef Wellington laced with toxic mushrooms. Her lawyers argued it was just a terrible accident, but the jury disagreed. ABC News foreign correspondent.
3 people and attempting to do it to another one. Did she try it? What you mean an accident? People be so quick to call stuff accident. Did she eat it? That's what inquiring minds want to know.
Britt Clennett has the details. Britt, what's the latest?
Well, Erin Patterson has been found guilty of murder, as you say, in this extraordinary trial that has made global headlines. And to quickly recap, Diane, 5 people sat down to eat lunch. Imagine this, at her home in rural Australia in July 2023. And within a week, 3 would be found dead, a 4th would be fighting for his life, and the 5th standing trial for intentionally poisoning her guests with toxic mushrooms served in a beef Wellington. Now, after this very high-profile trial in a very small town in rural Australia, as I say, Patterson has now been found guilty of murdering 3 relatives at the lunch and attempting to kill another. Now, Patterson had pleaded not guilty to all her charges, with her lawyers arguing.
The fact that they were relatives, or is that what the lady was saying? Relatives, that makes it even more strange, bro. You know what I mean? Like, having issue with family is one thing, but trying to take them out?
That this was a terrible accident. And on Monday, the jury of 12 found Patterson guilty, as I say, on all 4 charges after a week of deliberating. Now, the mother of 2 is now facing life in prison. Her sentencing will come at a later date that we just don't know about yet because it hasn't been set, but it will be perhaps in the following weeks. She'll be remanded until then, and she can still appeal the guilty verdict. Now, there have been plenty of twists and turns during this trial, keeping public interest running very high, and with everyone in Australia and beyond talking about it, the prosecution telling the court that Patterson had employed major deceptions in order to murder her guests, including fabricating a cancer diagnosis to lure them to the lunch. All 4 of her guests at that lunch were hospitalized with severe stomach issues after they'd eaten. That's according to prosecutors. And Patterson's in-laws, Don and Gail, they died along with Gail's sister, Heather Wilkinson. Ian was the sole survivor. He was Heather's husband. He spent weeks in hospital and eventually testified. But Patterson's husband, interestingly enough, turned down the lunch invitation. Patterson then lied that she was also sick from the food to avoid suspicion. That's according to prosecution. But as I say, it's now up to Patterson's lawyers to see if she will appeal this.